So after the euphoria of Friday, the job still isn't done for the Soca Warriors. We have our big game against Costa Rica on the 10th of June. We know how important it is. Of course, we could still finish on top of the group, and we have that big game against Costa Rica. So before we go into the match preview, let's just talk about the equation. So of course, Trinidad and Tobago and Costa Rica are on top of Group B. Costa Rica perfect so far with 9 points. Trinidad and Tobago on 7 points with the 2 wins and a draw. And Grenada still in the equation in 3rd place on 4 points. Now, a draw or a win, of course, qualifies the Soca Warriors for the next round of qualification. However, if we lose, we could still get through, even if Grenada beat St. Kitts and Nevis based on our goal difference. Now, we have a goal difference of 10 and Grenada have a goal difference of 3. So, based on how things go, even if we do lose, we could still advance. Now, we don't want to lose, obviously, but let's just set the equation straight one time. So let's jump into the game now. So Trinidad and Tobago and Costa Rica are the 2 top scorers in Group B for this qualification so far. Both have scored 15 goals. Now the difference between Trinidad and Tobago and Costa Rica, as we both know, is the defense. Now most Trinidad and Tobago fans have been concerned about our defending. We've conceded 5 goals, which isn't ideal, but still not bad given the fact that we've scored 15. Now, Costa Rica have also scored 15 goals, but they haven't conceded, which is the big difference, as we've been mentioning. So, how do we go into this game? I think we should go in with the same starting 11 from St. Kitts and Nevis with 1 or 2 tweaks. I think Andre Raymond, Ram, as we know him, came on in the second half in that game and did really well. I think he's been good, since he's come into the squad in the Unity Cup. He was pretty good against Jamaica. And Friday, against St. Kitts and Nevis, I think he did really well. So I think he should come in and play that left back position. A lot of people say, Ajani Fortune came in the second half. Yes, he did score, but really and truly, I still think the more competent player is Rampasad. Not to knock Ajani Fortune, I think he's a good player as well, but I still believe that Rampasad has a level of experience and a certain work rate that I think will be really good against Costa Rica. Now, that could be a different case. Dwight York might think otherwise and bring in a Johnny Fortune. That's fine, because he did come in, he is showing some form and he scored a goal. And that's what we need to do against Costa Rica. The most important thing in this game is for us to limit all mistakes. As I said, Costa Rica haven't conceded any goals. Now, we have scored a lot, so we should be trying to score goals, not go and park the bus. They are scoring goals as well. They've scored 15 goals too, so why can't they score against Trinidad and Tobago? Everybody else in the group has scored against Trinidad and Tobago, so why can't the best team? So what we have to do is limit the amount of chances we give them, limit the amount of mistakes that we make. All goals, in my view, could be prevented unless it's like a bicycle kick from half line, that you really can't stop. So in a game like this, where I would say, although we don't have to win, we should go in with a must-win mentality, and a must-win mentality means that you have no mistakes whatsoever, or limited as much as possible. And that's from a defensive standpoint, in the midfield, defending, and the goalkeeping. Now, the attack. Now, I think everybody in Trinidad and Tobago have full confidence in our attack. The likes of Levi Garcia, the likes of, I would say, Kevin Molino adds to the attack. Tyrese Spicer, Dante Seeley, we saw him in the last game. And then you have the likes of Nathaniel James, who might not start, but have that impact to come off the bench and score goals, score important goals, influence the game, impact the game with his fresh legs and his pace and his fire. So I think all our confidence is in our attacking potential, which means that we have to go and we have to try and score as many goals as possible. It won't be easy, because we aren't home, we don't have the 12th and the 13th man that we had on Friday. It's going to be a very intimidating atmosphere over in the Estadio Nacional in Costa Rica. So the guys just have to focus and try to score as many goals as possible. Now, you could limit mistakes in the attack as well. And what I mean by that is, when we get chances, please put them away. We saw it on Friday against St. Kitts and Nevis. We had about 20 chances. We could have won that game about 15-2. And against the big teams like Costa Rica, you aren't going to get many chances, and you have to capitalize. You have to capitalize. No questions about it. You know, Levi Garcia had a good game, but you have to score that penalty against Costa Rica, because that could be the difference between us advancing to the next round of qualification and ultimately advancing to the World Cup. You know, not to knock you, Levi, but those are the things that absolutely need to be converted. And so, from a defensive point of view, limit mistakes in terms of allowing chances, and from the attacking point of view, please score the goals. We have to score the goals. All that being said, I think we have a good chance. I think there's a lot of confidence in the team. One hope that we could hope from Costa Rica is they've already qualified. You know, they are just really playing for top spot, because if we manage to win, we could finish on top, and Costa Rica will be second, because we'll be on 10 points and they'll be on 9. But there's a hope that maybe a bit of complacency might creep into the Costa Rica team, because they've already qualified. Maybe they mightn't play their strongest team. We have to go all guns blazing and do what we have to do, at least a draw. And as I said, even if we lose, we still have a very good chance. Our goal difference is 7 more than Grenada. They're playing St. Kitts and Nevis, and they have the potential to score a lot of goals against them. But even if we do lose, and I don't want to speak it into being or anything, but just setting the equation, narrow margin, 1-0, 2-1. Let's at least give Costa Rica a fight, so that our goal difference isn't compromised and Grenada can't catch us. So big game against Costa Rica. Let's see how we could do. We believe in the Socorros. We believe that they could do it, and we're hoping for the best.